Kelvin, when you were on the Cobbler show a few weeks ago, it was quite a different situation off the back of the defeat at Derby, but since then some fantastic results.
Yeah, I think so. It got a bit worse after Derby as well, getting beat by Barrow in the Cup, and I think that was our lower point of the season. And you know, it's always important to understand that seasons go, you have those ups and downs, but you know, I think the lads have really bounced back, and it's good to, you know, you always want to be, you know, it's easier to talk after 4 or 5 wins. It's never easy to talk after getting a real kick in and having a tough few games, and then getting a kick in a Derby, and then getting dumped out the Cup. But you know, but it's important that as a club that we you know, we deal with those moments as well. So, but we understand, you know, we're not going to get carried away. We didn't get carried away with that. Showed full support of John and the lads, and the same thing now. We're not going to get carried away with this little run we're on now, because we've got some challenges ahead always.
That said, it has been a really good few weeks, and highlighted by the Manager of the Month nomination and the Player of the Month award for Sam. Yeah,
it's really good. It's good for John and good for Sam. I think for John, I'm not sure if I think he's been nominated before last year a couple of times, but and I think, you know, it's a bit disappointing he didn't win it really. So, but you know, you always get the Manager of the Month curse, don't you? Look at Man United, you know, this weekend. But I think he deserves it. You know, he's done phenomenally well, and deals with a lot of stuff, as all managers do, and he deals with it professionally, and we're proud of the way that we've achieved results. And Sam, you know, what can you say about Sam? It's difficult to, you know, I think he's turned around a lot of the thinking about him over his Northampton career, and he will go down as a legend of his time here. He's actually he's definitely the one player I think has been here longer than us. We inherited Sam, and but he's come on if you look at his last 4, it's not, you know, people say his last couple of seasons. If you actually look at his record over the last four or so years, it's very good for someone that's never played as a centre forward, always played in different positions out wide, but every manager's picked him really. So you know, there is something that says something about that, and he's consistent, and I'm pleased for him. And you know, he's a good lad and he's a good kid, and I'm really happy for him.
I know the old club adage of never too high, never too low, and the targets won't change, but to be sat 12th in League One after 20 games, fantastic position to be in.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to, you know, when they show the top half of the table, you see us there. So no, it's always good, and you know, and that's what we're about. We're making sure that we try and win football matches, and I think we've done that, and we've shown that we can do it in League One. I think we've surprised a lot of people. There was even some people within our fan base who were quite critical of us and critical of our chances, and you know, it's and all this stuff. But I think we've proved that we're competitive, got a competitive budget, and we will be competitive in this league. And I think we're beating a lot of teams around us, which is a very healthy position to be in. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased.
And the fans enjoying things at the moment. Attendance is good. You know, the highest average attendance in 55 years, which is some stat.
You keep coming up with some of these stats, Gareth, that surprise me every time. And it's really it's great to see. You know, there is definitely one thing you'll always know in football, and people will vote with their feet. And if you're doing well, then people will come. And so it's testament to how well we're doing as a club. On the pitch, off the pitch, people want to be here. The atmosphere's, you know, I think the atmosphere's really good at games. You know, it's always difficult, I think, like against Fleetwood on Saturday, which is a great performance, a great result. But, you know, Fleetwood, you know, bringing 100 people, or just under 100 people, you know, it's a long way to come, etc., etc. It's really hard to generate an atmosphere, I think, in those sort of games. It's, you know, it's much easier, like say, in a couple of weeks when we play Oxford, or the week before we play Portsmouth, to get an atmosphere when there's 1,500, 1,200, you know, away fans. But I thought on Saturday it was good. It was good. The atmosphere was good. The fans got going. The fans got behind the lads, and you know, you've got to enjoy these moments.
Results clearly play an important part in the number of fans coming to games, but also the togetherness, the community outreach, that just seeing so many more people, young fans in particular, wearing Cobbler shirts, and also the style of football as well. Those factors have also played a part in the crowds going up.
Yeah, I thought if you looked at Saturday's game, I think that could have been more than 3-0. I know Max made a couple of really good saves, so And so I think Fleetwood had a couple of good chances, but I think overall, I think that game could have easily been 7 or 8-2 or something like that. It was good, and that's exciting, and it's exciting the way that we're getting in behind teams, we're playing the ball through the midfield, we've got some hurting passes that are going in, from Mark, and I don't want to pick out individual players, but Mark, Jack, and Sean all were looking good in that midfield. So, and as a group, as a whole, it's really encouraging to see that sort of level of performance. It's sort of a bit of excitement, and even up till Mitch's goal at the end, smacks it in the top corner. It sends fans home happy for sure.
Let's talk about the East Stand. An important milestone announced a few weeks ago now, the appointment of GRS as construction partners.
Yeah, no, very good, very good. We're pleased. We're definitely making progress. Contractually, we're making progress with West Northampton Council. It's just time. It's time. I think it's always frustrating that it takes a bit more time than you'd like, but we're certainly, I would say, close to that. And in the meantime, with GRS, we've agreed that we can start some prelim work behind the scenes. There's a tremendous amount of work that needs to happen before somebody gets on site. Hopefully, we'll see some movement on site, either this month or next month. Just tidying up certain areas. We had the architects out last week. The engineers are here. Actually, me and James just met with them this morning. They're looking at the stand, and they're looking at what they can, they have to, any works they need to do before we start building, etc. Any remedial works on the stand, on the still. So we're looking at that. We're getting everything in place, and once the contract's signed, we're good to go. And very, very impressed with GRS. I love the fact they have a local connection. Their chairman and chief executive were here on Saturday watching the game. They enjoyed the game with us. And what was good as well was it wasn't just two company directors of a building company were here. It just felt like they had a local connection themselves. Martin, the chairman, lives locally, and a lot of GRS staff are in the stands on a regular basis, and they're walking by, said hello. It was just good. Martin's an Everton fan. I introduced him to Max Dyche, and it was he had a good chat with him about his dad and how well his dad's doing up there. So I think it's all positive stuff.
2023 is drawing to a close. It's been some year for the football club. Everyone's highlight, I guess, will be the promotion at Tranmere back in May, but so much has been achieved, so much in all areas of the club. It's been a fantastic 12 months.
I think it has, and now we're getting close to Christmas. Christmas can start now. My birthday's finished, but this is always a good period. So it's a good period to look back. That's why we have these conversations, especially at this time. Look back on the year, and you have to be I don't know where we started the year in terms of league position, but all of a sudden, we could end up finishing in or around the top half of League One. I'm not sure there's many who would have said we were going to do that. You look at the highs and lows, and we went through some periods. I think I might have mentioned this before. That I think it was Easter Monday or Good Friday, maybe, where we get battered by Newport, and almost looks like everyone's injured. I think even around the boardroom there was probably 3 or 4 injured, and you just look at it and you go, and you're on such a low, but all of a sudden you'd pick out a result here and there, and Jack plays centre back, and Max Dyche and Sam Sherring get off the treatment table, and suddenly they're back involved, and all of a sudden you get that momentum, and it's been great. And you go into the summer, and you make your plans, and it's going to be, and we talked about it at the start of the year, it's going to be up and down. It's going to be some good results, some bad results, but you just have to try and ride through it. And we're not getting carried away. We never do. It's a good moment, a moment in time right now. It's a good moment, but we'll make sure that we're focused on Saturday against Carlisle, because that's going to be a very tough game. Always tough to go to Carlisle. There's no question about it. And what looks like a game now that we've won a few, we look at that game and think, it's a good game for us at this time. It's suddenly, we know how difficult it is. It's a long journey for everyone. So and we're going to appreciate all the support that goes up there, and all the support around the country and the world really that take us forward.
Some individuals will remember 2023 with a lot of fondness and a lot of pride. Sam Hoskins, a huge number of awards, but I will mention the League 2 Player of the Season award at the EFL Awards in April, and also on the same night Josh Tomlinson, the League 2 Apprentice of the Year. Proud night for the club and recognition for both the first team and the academy. Yeah,
definitely, definitely, and and it's good. What's quite interesting now is how well Samo has sort of slipped into the mix as to replace Colin in terms of interim and I think everyone's seen that, and it's been a really good sort of transition, and I think we probably look at that a little bit longer term because I think he's done really well. I think he provides a calmness to the group, liked by the staff, loved by the players, and he definitely supplements what Colin did for sure, and we're really pleased to see Colin doing well at Southampton and then being on a decent run, and we wish him well. But Samo coming in has been really good, and it's testament to what he was doing in the academy that you had Josh coming through and being the Apprentice of the Year, and now he can help us. He can help the first team as well.
We could be here all day if we run through some of the achievements of the year, but I will just mention a couple more to you. The women's first team squad finished 5th in their first season at a higher level, and the women's development squad won promotion. So again, signs of strength in the female football programme.
Yeah, I went to, I think it was about 3-4 weeks ago, I went to one of the games on the Sunday over at Fernfields, and it was good. It was really good. It was cold, but it was a good game. I really enjoyed it. I was actually involved in women's football a long time ago in the US. From a coaching perspective, so I know quite a bit about it, and I'm really pleased to see their progression and proud of the way that they've handled themselves in their league, and the way the pathways really opened up with Jean in the education and everybody that works through that pathway.
Record numbers of students in the football and education programme, and also the EFL Family Excellence Award. We haven't even touched on those, but the one thing I would just finish on is another really proud moment for the club over the course of the year in October, the opening of the brand new training centre up at Malton. Yeah,
that was good. I would even put the pitch behind the North Stand as well as a highlight. But the training centre for me is it's quite interesting because you never know when you do stuff like that. For the players, I don't know if it's changed as much as we would think, because sometimes the player relationship is a bit transactional in the sense they come in, and they go home, and that's no different to what they did at Malton Magpies, except maybe a little bit they would drive to Malton Magpies after training, and this gives them the ability just to walk to the training building and do their stuff, and then they head out. But for the staff, I think it's been a game changer, and that's what they've all told me, and John especially. It allows them a space so they can actually work together in an environment where they don't have to drive back to the ground, they don't have to find somewhere to go get a coffee, they don't have to head off home, rush off home. They can actually work together. Analysts have got an analyst room, and the manager can walk across from his office into the analyst room, and they can sit and talk about things, and it's not so disjointed, as it were. And to be fair, it's not, as we've always seen, it's not essential in the sense of that's what needs to happen, because we've had success without it. But now I think this just enhances the matter, and every bit of feedback I've had from people that we value their opinion, especially the people that have seen it, has been fantastic on the training ground. So we're very happy with it. And then obviously the pitch out the back is something else. I think the weather hasn't really helped us in terms of usage, but I think when you open an outdoor pitch in November, you get that. But I think it's going to be really, really good, especially as we go through the better weather months, etc. And I think our offering to families there's a reason why we get family awards. Our offering to families is really good, and and you always, our family section, the East Stand, there's definitely a different pitch to the singing. But I think on Saturday, because the crowd was a little bit quieter because there wasn't that many in Fleetwood, one thing I noticed was there was continued singing from that area. The pitch is definitely a little bit lower, shall we say, higher, sorry, in that area. But it was good. It was good because they're our fans for the future. kids that are going to come along, and you know, they're probably the kids that are going to come along at 15, 16 without their parents, and maybe even cause a few problems here and there. But that's the cycle of a football fan, isn't it, really? Like, you know, and then there'll be the people that come in, you know, 25, 30, and then maybe have their own kids, and then at 35 they start bringing their own kids, and then maybe by the time they get to, you know, my age and older, they start moaning old, grumpy old people in the stands. So, but that's a cycle of a football fan. It starts with that family area, and that's the fact that they can walk past that training. I mean, they walk past the five-a-side pitch, and they see that, and they see that progress, and then they walk into the family area, and they walk into the stand, and they see Sammy Hoskins scoring goals, and you know, and Mitch Pinnock pinging it in the top corner. That's what we're about. That's what the football club's about. So it's really, as we come into the new year, and that's the progress that we want to keep making.
Fair to say, Kelvin, whatever happens in the next few weeks, the club ends the year in a very healthy position on and off the pitch, and as a Cobblers fan, it should be a very Merry Christmas. Yeah, I think it should be, and again, it's results driven, isn't it? A lot of this, you know, we're realists on that. It's about the football in the end, so we know that, and we know that we got to keep getting results, and if we keep getting results, it'll be good. So, you know, wish, you know, everyone a good holiday season, as it were, and Merry Christmas, and hopefully it's a very happy New Year. Thank you.